which Moses spoke to all Israel beyond the Jordan, in the wilderness, in the Arabah opposite Suph, between Paran, Tophel, Laban, Hazeroth, and Dizahab. It is 11 days' journey from Horeb, by the way of Mount Seir to Kadesh Barnea. In the 14th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, Moses spoke to the children of Israel according to all that Yahweh had given him in commandment to them, after he had struck Sihon the king of the Amorites, who lived in Heshbon, and Og the king of Bashan, who lived in Ashtaroth, at Edrei. Beyond the Jordan in the land of Moab, Moses began to declare this law, saying, Yahweh our God spoke to us in Horeb, saying, You have lived long enough at this mountain. Turn and take your journey and go to the hill country of the Amorites and to all the places near there. In the Arabah, in the hill country, in the lowland, in the south by the seashore, in the land of the Canaanites, and in Lebanon, as far as the great river, the river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which Yahweh swore to your fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give to them and to their offspring after them. I spoke to you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. Yahweh your God has multiplied you, and behold, you are today as the stars of the sky for multitude. Yahweh the God of your fathers make you 1,000 times as many as you are, and bless you as he has promised you. How can I myself alone bear you your problems, your burdens, and your strife? Take wise men of understanding, who are respected among your tribes, and I will make them heads over you. You answered me and said, The thing which you have spoken is good to do. So I took the heads of your tribes, wise and respected men, and made them heads over you, captains of thousands, captains of hundreds, captains of 50s, captains of 10s, and officers according to your tribes. I commanded your judges at that time, saying, Hear cases between your brothers, and judge righteously between a man and his brother, and the foreigner who is living with him. You shall not show partiality in judgment. You shall hear the small and the great alike. You shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's. The case that is too hard for you, you shall bring to me, and I will hear it. I command you at that time all the things which you should do. We travelled from Horeb and went through all that great and terrible wilderness which you saw by the way of the hill country of the Amorites, as Yahweh our God commanded us. And we came to Kadesh Barnea, and said to you, You have come to the hill country of the Amorites, which Yahweh our God has given to us. Behold, Yahweh your God has set the land before you. Go up, take possession, as Yahweh the God of your fathers has spoken to you. Don't be afraid, neither be dismayed. You came near to me, every one of you, and said, Let's send men before us, that they may search the land for us, and bring back to us word by the way of which we must go up, and the cities to which we shall come. The thing pleased me well. I took 12 of your men, 1 man from each tribe. They turned and went up into the hill country, and came to the valley of Eshcol, and spied it out. They took some fruit of the land in their hands, and brought it down to us, and brought us word again, and said, It is a good land, which Yahweh our God gives to us. Yet you wouldn't go up, but rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh your God. You murmured in your tents, and said, Because Yahweh hated us, he has brought us out of the land of Egypt, to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us. Where are we going up? Our brothers have made our hearts melt, saying, The people are greater and taller than we. The cities are great and fortified up to the sky. Moreover, we have seen the sons of Anakim there. Then I said to you, Don't be afraid of them. Yahweh your God who goes before you, he will fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt before your eyes, and in the wilderness where you have seen how that Yahweh your God carried you as a man carries his son, all the way that you went until you came to this place. Yet in this thing you didn't believe Yahweh your God, who went out before you on the way to seek out a place for you to pitch your tents in fire by night, to show you by what way you should go in, and in the cloud by day. Yahweh heard the voice of your words, and was angry, and swore, saying, Surely not one of these men of this evil generation shall see the good land which I swore to give your fathers, except Caleb the son of Jephunneh. He shall see it. I will give the land he has trodden on to him and to his children, because he has wholly followed Yahweh. Also Yahweh was angry with me for your sakes, saying, You shall not go in there. Joshua son of Nun, who stands before you, shall go in there. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it. Moreover, your little ones, whom you said it would be captured or killed, your children, who today have no knowledge of good or evil, shall go in there. I will give it to them, and they shall possess it. But as for you, turn and take your journey into the wilderness by way of the Red Sea. Then you answered and said to me, We have sinned against Yahweh. We will go up and fight according to all that Yahweh your God has commanded us. Every man of you put on his weapons of war, and presumed to go into the hill country. Yahweh said to me, Tell them, don't go up and don't fight, for I am not among you, lest you be struck before your enemies. So I spoke to you, and you didn't listen, but you rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh, and were presumptuous, and went up into the hill country. The Amorites who lived in that hill country came out against you and chased you as bees do, and beat you down in Seir, even to Hormah. You returned and wept before Yahweh, but Yahweh didn't listen to your voice, nor turn his ear to you. So you stayed in Kadesh many days, according to the days that you remained. Then we turned and took our journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea, as Yahweh spoke to me, and we encircled Mount Seir many days. Yahweh spoke to me, saying, You have encircled this mountain long enough. Turn northward. Command these people, saying, You are to pass through the border of your brothers, the children of Esau, who dwell in Seir. They will not be afraid of you, therefore be careful. Don't contend with them, for I will not give you any of their land, no, not so much as for the sole of the foot to tread on, because I have given Mount Seir to Esau for a possession. You shall purchase food from them for money, that you may eat. You shall also buy water from them for money, that you may drink. For Yahweh your God has blessed you in all the works of your hands. He has known your walking through this great wilderness these 40 years. Yahweh your God has been with you. You have lacked nothing. So we passed by from our brothers, the children of Esau, who dwell in Seir, from the way of Arabah, from Elath, from Ezion-Geber. We turned and passed by the way of the wilderness of Moab. Yahweh said to me, Don't bother Moab, neither contend with them in battle, for I will not give you any of his land for a possession, because I have given Ard the children of Lot for a possession. The Emim lived there before, a great and numerous people, and tall as the Anakim. These also are considered to be Rephaim as the Anakim, but the Moabites call them Emim. The Horites also lived in Seir in the past, but the children of Esau succeeded them. They destroyed them from before them, and lived in their place, as Israel did, to the land of his possession, which Yahweh gave to them. Now rise up and cross over the brook Zered. We went over the brook Zered. The days in which we came from Kadesh Barnea until we had come over the brook of Zered were 38 years, until all the generation of the men of war were consumed from the middle of the camp, as Yahweh swore to them. Moreover, Yahweh's hand was against them to destroy them from the middle of the camp until they were consumed. So when all the men of war were consumed and dead from among the people, Yahweh spoke to me, saying, You are to pass over Ar, the border of Moab, today. When you come near the border of the children of Ammon, don't bother them, don't contend with them, for I will not give you any of the land of the children of Ammon for a possession, because I have given it to the children of Lot for a possession. That also is considered a land of Rephaim. Rephaim lived there in the past, but the Ammonites called them Zamzumim, a great people, many and tall as the Anakim, But Yahweh destroyed them from before Israel, and they succeeded them and lived in their place, as he did for the children of Esau who dwell in Seir, when he destroyed the Horites before them, and they succeeded them and lived in their place, even to this day. Then the Avim, who lived in the villages as far as Gaza, the Caphtorim, who came out of Caphtor, destroyed them and lived in their place. Rise up, take your journey, and pass over the valley of the Arnon. Behold, I have given it into your hand, Sihon the Amorite, king of Heshbon, and his land. Begin to possess it and contend with him in battle. Today I will begin to put the dread of you and the fear of you on the people who are under the whole sky, who shall hear the report of you, and shall tremble and be in anguish because of you. I sent out of the wilderness of Kedemoth to Sihon, the of Heshbon, the words of peace, saying, Let me pass through your land. I shall go along the highway. I will turn neither to the right hand nor to the left. You shall sell me food for money that I may eat, and give me water for money that I may drink. Just let me pass through on my feet, as the children of Esau who dwell in Seir, and the Moabites who dwell in Ar did to me, until I pass over the Jordan into the land which Yahweh our God gives us. But Sihon, king of Heshbon, would not let us pass by him, for Yahweh your God hardened his spirit, and made his heart obstinate, that he might deliver him into your hand, as it is today. Yahweh said to me, Behold, I have begun to deliver up Sihon and his land before you. Begin to possess, that you may inherit his land. Then Sihon came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Jahaz. Yahweh our God delivered him up before us, and we struck him, his sons, and all his people. We took all his cities at that time and utterly destroyed every inhabited city, with the women and the little ones. We left no one remaining. Only the livestock we took for plunder for ourselves, with the plunder of the city which we had taken. From Aroer, which is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, and the city that is in the valley, even to Gilead, there was not a city too high for us. Yahweh our God delivered up all before us. Only the land of the children of Ammon didn't come near. All the banks on the river Jabbok and the cities of the hill country, and wherever Yahweh our God forbade us. Then we turned and went up on our way to Bashan. Og, the king of Bashan, came out against us, he and all his people, to battle at Edrei. Yahweh said to me, Don't fear him, for I have delivered him with all his people and his land into your hand. You shall do to him as you did to Sihon, king of the Amorites, who lived at Heshbon. So Yahweh our God also delivered into our hand Og, the king of Bashan, and all his people. We struck him until no one was left to him remaining. We took all his cities at that time. There was not a city which we didn't take from them. 60 cities, all the region of Argob, the kingdom of Og in Bashan. All these were cities fortified with high walls, gates, and bars, in addition to a great many villages without walls. We utterly destroyed them, as we did to Sihon, king of Heshbon, utterly destroying every inhabited city, with the women and the little ones. But all the livestock and the plunder of the city we took for plunder for ourselves. We took the land at that time out of the hand of the 2 kings of the Ammonites, who were beyond the Jordan, from the valley of the Arnon to Mount Hermon. The Sidonites called Mount Hermon Syrian, and the Ammonites call it Senir. We took all the cities of the plain, and all Gilead, and all Bashan, to Salakah and Edrei, cities in the kingdom of Og of Bashan. For only Og, king of Bashan, remained in the remnant of Rephaim. Behold, his bedstead was a bedstead of iron. Isn't it Rabbah of the children of Ammon? 9 cubits was its length, and 4 cubits its width after the cubit of man. This land we took in possession at that time, from Eror, which is on the valley of the Arnon, and half the hill country of Gilead with its cities I gave to the Reubenites and to the Gadites. The rest of Gilead, and all Bashan, the kingdom of Og, I gave to the half-tribe of Manasseh. all the region of Argob, even Bashan. The same is called of the land of Rephaim. Jair, the son of Manasseh, took all the region of Argob to the border of the Geshurites and the Maacathites, and called them, even Bashan, after his own name, Havoth Jair, to this day. I gave Gilead to Machir, to the Reubenites, and to the Gadites. I gave from Gilead, even to the valley of Arnon, the middle of the valley and its border, even to the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon. Arabah also, and the Jordan and its border, from Chenneroth even to the sea, the Arabah, the salt sea, under the slopes of Pisgah eastward. I commanded you at that time, saying, Yahweh your God has given you this land to possess it. All of you, men of valor, shall pass over armed before your brothers, the children of Israel. But your wives and your little ones, and your livestock, I know that you have much livestock, shall live in your cities which I have given you, until Yahweh gives rest to your brothers, as to you, and they shall possess the land which Yahweh your God gives them beyond the Jordan. Then you shall each return to his own possession, which I have given you. I commanded Joshua at that time, saying, Your eyes have seen all that Yahweh your God has done to these two kings. So shall Yahweh do to all the kingdoms where you go over. You shall not fear them, for Yahweh your God himself fights for you. I begged Yahweh at that time, saying, Lord Yahweh, you have begun to show your servant your greatness and your strong hand. For what God is there in heaven or in earth that can do works like yours and mighty acts like yours? Please let me go over and see the good land that is beyond the Jordan, that fine mountain, and Lebanon. But Yahweh was angry enough with me because of you and didn't listen to me. Yahweh said to me, That is enough. Speak no more to me of this matter. Go up to the top of Pisgah, and lift up your eyes westward and northward, and southward and eastward, and see with your eyes that you should not go over this Jordan. But commission Joshua, and encourage him. Strengthen him, for he shall go over before this people, and he shall cause them to inherit the land which you shall see. So we stayed in the valley near Beth Peor. Now listen, Israel, to the statutes and the ordinances which I teach you, to do them that you may live, and go in and possess the land which Yahweh the God of your fathers gives you. You shall not add to the word which I command you, neither shall you take away from it, that you may keep the commandments of God, which I command you. Your eyes have seen what Yahweh did because of Baal Peor, for Yahweh your God has destroyed all the men who follow Baal Peor before you. But you who were faithful to Yahweh your God are all alive today. Behold, I have taught you statutes and ordinances, even as Yahweh my God commanded me, that you should do so in the middle of the land where you go to it to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the people who shall hear these statutes and say, Surely this is a great nation, wise and an understanding people. For what great nation is there that has a God so near to them as Yahweh our God is whenever we call on him? What great nation is there that has statutes and ordinances so righteous as all this law which I set before you today? Only be careful and keep your soul diligently, lest you forget the things which only your eyes saw, and lest they depart from your heart all the days of your life, but make them known to your children and your children's children. The day that you stood before Yahweh your God in Horeb, when Yahweh said to me, Assemble the people to me, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me all the days that they live on the earth, and they may teach their children. You came near and stood under the mountain. The mountain burned with fire to the heart of the sky, with dark cloud and thick darkness. Yahweh spoke to you out of the middle of the fire. You heard the voice of words, but you saw no form. You only heard a voice. He declared to you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even the 10 Commandments. He wrote them on 2 stone tablets. Yahweh commanded me at that time to teach you statutes and ordinances, that you might do them in the land where you go over to possess it. Be very careful, for you saw no kind of form on the day Yahweh spoke to you in Horeb out of the middle of the fire, lest you corrupt yourselves and make yourselves a carved image in the form of any figure, the likeness of male or female, the likeness of any animal that is on earth, the likeness of any winged bird that flies in the sky, the likeness of anything that creeps on the ground, the likeness of any fish that is in the water under the earth, and lest you lift up your eyes to the sky, and when you see the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the army of the sky, you are drawn away and worship them, and serve them which Yahweh your God has allotted to all the people under the whole sky. But Yahweh has taken you, and brought you out of the iron furnace, out of Egypt, to be to him a people of inheritance, as it is today. Furthermore, Yahweh was angry with me for your sakes, and swore that I should not go over the Jordan, that I should not go into the good land which Yahweh your God gives you for an inheritance, but I must die in this land. I must not go over the Jordan, but you shall go over and possess that good land. Be careful, lest you forget the covenant of Yahweh your God which he has made with you, and make for yourselves a carved image in the form of anything which Yahweh your God has forbidden you. For Yahweh your God is a devouring God, a jealous God. When you father children and children's children, and you have been long in the land, and then corrupt yourself, and make a carved image in the form of anything, and do that which is evil in Yahweh your God's sight, to provoke him to anger, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today, that you will soon utterly perish from off the land which you go to over the Jordan to possess it. You will not prolong your days on it, but will be utterly destroyed. Yahweh will scatter you among the people, and you will be left few in number among the nations where Yahweh will lead you away. There you will serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which you neither see nor hear, nor eat nor smell. But from there you shall seek Yahweh your God, and you will find him when you search after him with all your heart and with all your soul. When you are in oppression, and all these things have come on you in the latter days, you shall return to Yahweh your God, and listen to his voice. For Yahweh your God is a merciful God. He will not fail to destroy you. He will not fail you, nor destroy you, nor forget the covenant of your fathers which he swore to them. For ask now of the days that are past, which were before you, since the day that God created man on the earth, and from one end of the sky to the other, whether there has been anything as great as this thing, or has been heard like it. Did a people ever hear the voice of God speaking out of the middle of the fire, as you have heard, and live? Or has God tried to go and take a nation for himself from among another nation, by trials, by sights, by wonders, by war, by a mighty hand, by an outstretched arm, and by great terrors according to all that Yahweh your God did for you in Egypt before your eyes? It was shown to you, so that you might know Yahweh is God. There is no one else beside him. Out of heaven he made you to hear his voice, that he might instruct you. On earth he made you to see his great fire, and you heard his words out of the middle of the fire. Because he loved your fathers, therefore he chose their offspring after them, and brought you out with his presence with great power out of Egypt, to drive your nations from before you, greater and mightier than you, to bring in, to give you their land for an inheritance as it is today. Know therefore today, and take it to heart, that Yahweh himself is God in heaven above and on earth below. There is no one else. You shall keep his statutes and his commandments which I command you today, that it may go well with you, and with your children after you, and that you may prolong the days in the land which Yahweh your God gives you for all time. Then Moses set apart 3 cities beyond the Jordan toward the sunrise, that the manslayer may flee there, who kills his neighbor unintentionally and didn't hate him in the time past, and that fleeing to one of those cities he might live. Bezer in the wilderness in the plain country for the Reubenites, and Ramoth in Gilead for the Gadites, and Golan in Bashan for the Massonites. This is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel. These are the testimonies and the statutes and the ordinances which Moses spoke to the children of Israel when they came out of Egypt, beyond the Jordan, in the valley opposite Beth Peor, and in the land of Sihon, king of the Amorites, who live at Heshbon, whom Moses and the children of Israel struck when they came out of Egypt. They took possession of his land, and the land of Og, king of Bashan, the two kings of the Amorites who were beyond the Jordan toward the sunrise, from Arior, which is on the edge of the valley of Arnon, even to Mount Sinon, also called Hermon, and all the Arabah beyond the Jordan eastward, even to the sea of the Arabah, under the slopes